Hey everybody, it's John, and here we go with another video. I hope you're having a great day or a great night if you're watching this in the evening. Yeah, I know I missed a video last week. Sorry about that. I thought I could be really consistent about doing this weekly video, but the nature of the work I'm doing, I guess I'm just not going to be able to, do that all the time. But hopefully it won't be more than a couple weeks. I know that last gap was quite long, a few weeks. I had some people emailing me wondering how I was doing or that I was okay. So yeah, I want to not worry you guys, and I appreciate that we have that relationship built up so far in such a short period of time, that you would be care so much to check in with me. So anyway, let's get to this video. And what I want to talk to you about is the DEF system. That is a very important part of the makeup of the mechanical part of the motor and all the other stuff, and you definitely have to have it. It's the government requires it. So Mercedes designed a system for the vehicle, and keep in mind this system very similar in the pickup trucks that you have out there that have diesel motors. This of course only applies to diesel, and all of that. So it's just the Mercedes stands out because they're usually the ones, the Expeditors, and they're putting a lot of miles on them, and they're like anything, their parts are going to be a little bit more or quite a bit more to replace. So I think that's why kind of Mercedes sort of gets picked on with this DEF system and all of that. Well, I mentioned in a previous video on the vehicle options, I told you, I touched base a little bit on that. I told you they did make improvements, and they did through the software. And I got a little bit more of an update on that. And I also talked to another Sprinter driver expediter when I was at the Mercedes-Benz dealership, that I had a few little tweaks I had to have done to the van, when you get a new van, little adjustments and things. And so through talking to that Sprinter driver and then talking to the head guy at the Mercedes there, by the way, this dealership is highly recommended by a lot of expediters. They're reasonably priced. They're in the midpoint. They're not real high, not real cheap, but they're kind of in the middle. They're located really in a good spot. I'm going to probably do a little thing on them on a video. I told them I might do that, and so yeah, so I'm going to save that kind of for a separate deal. But anyway, so very nice, great service. I can see why a lot of people like them. They give you a free wash, and that's a big thing when you're in a big vehicle like this. And they do a really good job, like thorough job. So yeah, so little perks like that. But anyway, and they fit you in, same day, next day, because they know you're an expediter and it's hard to make appointments, so they, again, very tailored to our business. So anyway, okay, so what I want to mainly talk to you about is that DEF system. So the DEF system and has three parts to it. It has the sensors, it has the SCR, and it has the DPF. Okay, and those are the three parts. And those parts, like any parts, they're going to wear out, and you're going to have to replace them. And in the case of engine parts, alternator and belts and things like that, those are pretty much on any engine, right? Those are parts you normally got to replace. And although on Mercedes, probably going to cost you a little more to replace them, no doubt. But being that it's a diesel, it has this whole other system, this DEF system, and it has its own parts. Well, those parts are quite expensive, and that's, I think, where a lot of the issue is with people, with saying, well, don't get a Sprinter because of the cost of just not the normal maintenance costs being higher, but the DEF system. So I wanted to share with you the numbers now this is from the dealership. I'm probably going to do another video once I talk to the place where I got my oil change. Remember, the dealership for an oil change, by the way, charges $290. Okay, and I told you I found that place that I can get an oil change for $125. Okay, so pretty much half the cost, right? Well, the B service, which is the second service, which I've got coming up soon, and I'll certainly let you know what that costs. But my guess it's going to be about the same. And if it's the same, well, the dealership charges $550. So I figure half of that cost is about what I'm going to pay at this other place. Okay, so there's some just your daily, regular, not daily, but regular maintenance costs that you have. Okay, so back to the DEF system. All right, so the DEF system as of 2015, according to the Sprinter driver that I spoke with, and I haven't really, validated any of this, but I'm just telling you what I've heard. But 2015, and then 2016, which is the one I have, and then of course the new model just came out to 2017. That as of 2015, they really got that stuff dialed in. So with the software, and I believe also with the sensors, because that's basically what regulates the whole system. And if it regulates it properly, then the SCR and the DPF parts, those should last a lot longer than they were. In the beginning, I heard they were lasting like 80,000 miles. And in some cases, they had to replace the entire system, which was very expensive. And so and now I'm hearing that they're up to like 250,000 miles, which sounds more about right, that they should last at least half the life expectancy of, say, the motor, which is, you may or may not know, these motors last a long time. That's where they get their good reputation before the DEF system went in, was that their motors would last so long. So, and they still do, but they got to deal with this DEF system now. All right, so here's the pricing. You have the NOx sensors. There's 2 of them. When one goes bad, they replace both. It's the proper way to do it. They have to be somewhat in sync and of some same number thing or whatever. And so yeah, so 2 of them, or when one goes bad, you replace 2, is $1,200 to $1,300. All right, so I've been told that those sensors, not the other 2 parts, but those sensors, typically one of them will go out at around 120 to 150,000 miles. And you definitely want to replace, because obviously it regulates everything and you want to do it properly. And by doing that, though, now you should be able to get more life out of your SCR and your DPF, along with the update that they've now made and fine-tuned the software that, of course, is part of the regulating everything. So the SCR, though, is $1,800. And the most expensive is the DPF, or the particulate filter. That's $2,800. This is dealer price. This is labor and part and labor. So just wanted to give you those numbers. I didn't really have exact numbers. I knew about the DEF, and I knew about it being the, it's more stuff on the vehicle, so it's obviously more to maintain, which means more costs. I knew that. But I also knew, as you remember from my other video, that I put money away. I've planned for that. I don't have a lot of overhead, so for me, I'm okay with that. And as far as I'm concerned, like any parts, they are going to go bad eventually. And yes, these parts do cost a lot. Now, grant you, I have not checked to see if the place where I get my oil stuff done, if they can do this and how much it is. Which, if they can, I'm sure it's going to be quite a bit less. But I want to share that with you so that, if you are looking at a Sprinter and you've been hearing a lot about the costs and maintenance, and yes, there is more than on your Transits and ProMasters, the gas versions, because they do make diesels of those. But on those gas versions, absolutely. And if that's important to you, then the Sprinter certainly would not be the best choice for you. But you already know from my other video, the vehicle option video, why I picked the Sprinter. And I'm okay with the cost. And I've met a lot of Sprinter guys. They're on their 3rd and 4th Sprinter. They love them, and they know they cost, and they know about all that. But to them, the value of the motor specifically, and the longevity of that, as long as you take care of it and all of that, they just not one to want to be switching their vans out all the time, I guess. So anyway. All right, so I wanted to give you those numbers. That's all I had for you. I wanted to keep the videos under 10 minutes, so we're coming up on that. And I have another video I'm going to shoot that's going to be a little bit on getting some discounts, specifically on fuel, which is also going to offset a little bit of what I was told about why not to get a Sprinter, because they only come with diesel, and that diesel fuel costs more. And that's true, but what I found out after I've been doing this a while is it's true, but not true. So I'll do a video on that. That'll be my next video, and I guess that's it for now. So thank you for watching, and look forward to hopefully seeing you out on the road real soon. Bye-bye now.